Hey, good morning. Let's go over today's trade plan. So early in the overnight session, we saw that the sell side was more dominant and responsive sellers were active above Friday's high. From there, ES tested Friday's low, where responsive buyers were active. Heading into the open, our short-term directional bias is fairly neutral. We are still giving slight more edge to the buy side here because of the larger time frame bullish bias. Now, the only disconnect so far in the market is the weakness in NASDAQ. So if off the open, we can see some buyers step into NQ, then we could see an upside move in ES as well. Because so far, Russell's holding up pretty well. ES is already larger time frame bullish, and NASDAQ was kind of the only disconnect or divergence in this picture, and even that's looking okay right now. So heading into the open, our short-term bias is going to be fairly neutral. We're open to a move in either direction, but we are going to lean more on the buy side because of the larger time frame bullish bias. Now, if the buyers can step in to ES this morning, then we could be looking at a break above the 84.75 to 86.75 initial resistance for a test of the 91.5 to 93 and 96 to 98.5. So if the buy side really steps in here, then the 96 to 98 half zone is a achievable target, and beyond that, you really start to stretch the range, and 0.3 quarter to 0.5 quarter is still active resistance. It marks the all-time high, and it would also be a range extreme. So that's really a very extended zone, and ES may not reach it today. But 96 to 98.50 is a zone that is very much within range in the event that we get a breakout on some strong momentum and participation from NASDAQ. So that's the upside scenario. On the downside, 74 to 76 remains valid support, and the buy side can technically maintain control as long as 74 to 76 is being held. In the event of a breakdown below 74 to 76, at this point we will have to be more cautious at 69.5 to 71.5. So it is a valid area of support, but if the market is breaking down below 74.76 on high momentum and the other markets are heading lower as well, then we'll be careful at the 69.5 to 71.5 zone. 64 to 66.5 is still larger time frame support. It's still a zone where responsive buyers can be active, and below that 57.5 to 59.5 is another larger time frame area of support, as well as a range extreme. So pretty much an automatic long in most scenarios. So as long as we're not in a trend down type day, which is not the expectation, then 57.5 to 59.5 would be a automatic long, especially if the other markets are also exhausted. So right now, like I said, heading into the open, a fairly neutral to neutral bullish short-term directional bias, still giving more edge to the buy side, and we are going to have to see something on the sell side in order to get active on shorting the market. This is still a market where overall the buyers are still dominant in control. Short term we've seen some selling, but that's quite normal considering we're coming off of a fresh all-time high. And even then, there's really barely been any kind of pullback. This is a very shallow pullback on the larger time frame. So we're going to continue to give a little bit more edge to the buy side, and we are going to have to see some clear signs in order to get active on the short side, and with the understanding that responsive buyers can still be active even if the market breaks 74 to 76. We can still get buyers active at 64 to 66.5 and 57.5 to 59.5. And then on the upside, the target would be 96 to 98.5. So those are the main ideas heading into the open. Let's see which side really dominates off the open here, and let's see if the buyers can really step in today, and we'll take it from there.